They say baseball ends when the final out is made. But real fans know, it never really ends. Because when the dust settles on the World Series, the debates begin. Who rose to greatness, and who fell into the shadows? This is where legacies are rewritten, one ranking at a time. The 2025 season was chaos wrapped in brilliance. Records shattered, dynasties crumbled, and heroes, unexpected, uninvited, emerged from nowhere. By the time champagne sprayed across the locker room, 30 teams had fought, bled, and believed. But not everyone walked out the same. Let's start from the bottom. Because even in the ashes, there's a story. The Oakland Athletics, still searching for a heartbeat. Their season felt like a broken record of rebuilding promises. A few bright young arms flashed potential, but the light faded too fast. Their fans, loyal as ever, deserve a miracle. They'll tell you, next year. But baseball doesn't wait forever. Kansas City, lost in transition. The Royals showed glimpses, speed, hustle, the fire of youth. But without direction, without leadership. They were a car with the engine running and no one behind the wheel. It hurts because you can see the pieces. They just don't fit yet. The Rockies, beautiful ballpark, brutal reality. Every season, Coors Field gives hope, and takes it away. Pitchers come, and pitchers go. The altitude wins again. Still, that fanbase stands under the Colorado sky, dreaming of a summer where thin air carries them higher than ever before. Then came the White Sox, a franchise trapped between eras. Too talented to rebuild, too broken to contend. Every at-bat felt like deja vu, almost, but not enough. They'll need more than trades. They need soul. And in baseball, soul wins championships. Washington, once champions, now ghosts. The Nats 2025 felt like walking through a museum of past glory. Soto's shadow still lingers, Harper's too. But maybe, just maybe, a spark is returning with new faces and fearless hearts. Because every empire gets one last chance at redemption. And then, Detroit. The Tigers finally roared again, even if it was brief. That pitching staff showed flashes of the old Verlander era. You could almost feel the electricity returning to Comerica. If they can hold their nerve, 2026 might not just be a rebuild year, it could be the arrival. The Pirates. What a roller coaster. They weren't supposed to compete, but for a few thrilling weeks, they did. The crowd in Pittsburgh felt alive again. McCutchen's leadership. Young stars shining under pressure. For a moment, the Steel City remembered how to dream. Miami, quiet, resilient, underrated. They don't make noise, they make wins. The Marlins pitching rotation looked like the future of baseball. If their bats wake up, watch out. Because Miami's storm is coming. Then came the Angels. Oh, the Angels. Ohtani's departure was supposed to end it all. But the story didn't die, it just changed names. Mike Trout, older but hungrier. New faces, new fire. And for once, Anaheim felt like it was healing. Cincinnati. The Reds gave us fireworks. Ellie de la Cruz became a phenomenon, a show within the show. Every stolen base, every thunderous swing, it was pure theater. Cincinnati didn't win it all. But they won hearts. Seattle, forever on the brink. Julio Rodriguez led with swagger and soul. The Mariners fought until their lungs gave out. They may not have reached October glory, but they reminded everyone. Baseball in Seattle isn't dead. It's just waiting for its masterpiece. The Cubs, what a tease. So close, so heartbreakingly close. Wrigley Field roared again, and for a while, it felt like 2016. But when the lights dimmed, they were left one piece short. Still, something's building there. Something dangerous. The Giants. Silent assassins. They don't talk. They just play clean, cold, disciplined baseball. They made contenders sweat. They made believers out of skeptics. Not flashy, but never out of it. In the Bay, consistency is the flash. The Red Sox rediscovered their fight. Fenway was rocking again, with chants that echoed into the night. Young stars blended with veterans. And suddenly, Boston baseball had that old swagger back. They weren't champions, but they reminded everyone who they are. And then came the Phillies. Harper's fire, Turner's speed, Schwarber's bombs. They were built for chaos, and chaos they delivered. But once again, October wasn't kind. Sometimes, the loudest teams fall the hardest. Houston, the dynasty that refused to die. They took punch after punch, and still stood tall. But age is the one opponent you can't out-hit. Their window isn't closed yet. But the breeze is colder now. St. Louis, baseball's eternal heart. After a brutal 2024, they came roaring back. Goldschmidt and Arenado led the charge like warriors seeking redemption. It wasn't a title run, but it was pride reborn. Cleveland, small market, big bite. The Guardians played fearless baseball. With the kind of chemistry money can't buy. Pitching, defense, discipline, it's old school, but it works. Don't sleep on Cleveland. They're coming. The Mets. Oh, the chaos. The drama. The heartbreak. They built a team of stars, and yet, the stars never aligned. Still, the story isn't over. Because when New York believes, it gets loud. Speaking of New York, the Yankees. What a year. Judge returned with vengeance. Volpe grew into his moment. They weren't perfect, but they were dangerous. And for the first time in years, Yankee Stadium felt like the kingdom again. Milwaukee, steady, silent, smart. No one talks about them enough. But year after year, they find ways to win. If baseball was about heart instead of payroll, the Brewers would be champions. Tampa Bay, analytical, relentless, unbreakable. They lose stars and create new ones out of thin air. They don't chase headlines. They chase efficiency. Every season, they defy logic. Every season, they prove us wrong. Arizona. The snakes still bite. After their magical 2023 run, many thought they'd vanish. But they came back hungrier, sharper, and meaner. Corbin Carroll's speed. Gallen's dominance. They're not underdogs anymore, they're contenders. Atlanta. Pure power. Their lineup looked like a home run derby come to life. Acuna, Olsen, Riley, they didn't just play, they intimidated. But October reminded them, power means nothing without timing. Still, the Braves are built for the long haul. The Dodgers, oh, what a story. Back-to-back World Series crowns, and now, the weight of a dynasty. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, the holy trinity of modern baseball. They played like they were rewriting the laws of the game itself. But this year, the magic ran out in Game 7. Still, their legacy, untouched. And finally, the champions. The Toronto Blue Jays. No one believed. No one expected. But when Vladdy Jr. stepped up, when Bichette dove for that final play. When the bullpen locked down history. A nation stood still. Canada roared. It wasn't just victory. It was vindication. A team that had been mocked, doubted, dismissed. Stood at the mountaintop, bat in hand, flag in heart. And now, as the winter chill sets in, we look back on the 2025 season not just as a competition, but as a living, breathing saga. Every team fought. Every fan believed. Every inning mattered. Because baseball isn't about who wins the trophy. It's about who dares to chase it. And come spring, 30 teams will rise again. New dreams. New heroes. New heartbreaks. Because in baseball, endings are just beginnings in disguise.